Hey YouTube, how's it going? Happy Saturday. Hope y'all are doing well. Today I am going over the Justice League Zack Snyder's movie reaction today. And first and foremost, billions of times over. Like, probably one of the best movies I've seen in a very long time when it comes to superhero movies. But Zach, you nailed it on the hammer there. I'm at a loss for words, and I was for the 4 hours, count them 4 hours that I was watching it with the wife. We were glued to the TV from the Wonder Woman scenes to Flash uh, to the Batman to uh, Aquaman to Superman coming back. They all had a part to play in how the Justice League became what they are right now. Like it was just the whole entire setting was perfect. You give that creator that much room to work with, especially when the actor's saying this is probably the best one ever, you have a masterpiece. And I thought it was a masterpiece. Now, I don't want to give into too many spoilers here, but I will say the top scenes, in my opinion, not only the Amazon warriors fighting off Stedwolf or Stemwolf. I can't really say his name correctly. I do apologize. That scene was phenomenal. And to the Amazons and the Wonder Woman, Gail did a great job in that. Like, I give her a lot of props, especially inspiring young women to be all they can be. And the great scene when they were saying, one of the great scenes is like, Amazons, we have no fear and they show no fear. That was pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie, I loved it. Like they are by far amazing characters there. But aside from that, you have the Dark Knight, the Batman up on the statue there looking at Jim Gordon. That was pretty sweet. That was probably one of my favorites out of that scene, as well as the Flash just the funny scene, him helping that woman out who got into the car crash, and then he grabs a hot dog, and then he's just looking at her and just sets her down gently, and then he gets the job after. Just probably calm the dogs with the meat product that he grabbed from the hot dog stand thing that ran over. But that was funny. I'm not gonna lie, I had a kick out of that one. He was always comedic, in my opinion, on that one. But oh man, like those 4 hours were worth it. Just watching the creator and how he envisioned it, Mr. Snyder, you did a great job. Your daughter would be extremely proud of you. Like that movie is definitely dedicated to her by far, but you did a phenomenal job. Like this is what happens when you give the director free range, it feels like, to do great things. Now, yeah, it was long, but there was some great classics that were long. You had the Avengers that were like 3 hours. You had the Ten Commandments that was almost the same. That was like a classic back in the day. You did have that. You have I forgot a few other movies. I can't remember. There's some classics I'm trying to remember that were pretty long, but it's escaping my mind at the moment. But even Titanic was a good one. It was a two-part videotape when I had it as a kid, and yet that was really good. It was one of the top sellers there at the time. But um, I if you're gonna have a regular film in the theaters, you need to have a director's cut. I mean, I'm sorry, but that is just it makes the superhero universe more in depth for fans who are either they know the true storylines between each and every one from the comics all the way to the TV shows to et cetera, to a new fan coming in who doesn't fully understand what the backstories are, how they became this, how did they get their powers, or how did they inherit it, or just overall, they need to have those superhero movies. I think should be in those like longer time frames. Now, I get production, I get money, I get all of that, but you 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 just can't do that. Like you have to have the background of everything to mesh well. It meshed well. Like comparing it. I'm just going to use a comparison here. I'm not trying to say it's like Marvel, but the comparisons of the stories on both sides, like Marvel really meshes well in their storyline, but DC with the Justice League, they meshed it really well, almost as close as, like, in my opinion, not saying it's true or not. You can disagree with me if you want. That is perfectly fine. I completely understand, but the story meshed well of how the Justice League becomes what they are and what they're all about. Like, and watching it from the kids of the TV shows and everything else, that's what made it perfect. Like, Mr. Snyder, you did phenomenal work. I can't give you enough credit for it, and I'll give you another applause there. Like, phenomenal. And the characters did an amazing job, especially my favorite character, Superman. He did extremely well in it. I wish they didn't take out the scene where he grabs Superman and picks him up and says, "Do you bleed?" Like, I thought that was a good one in the original one, but I wish they didn't take that scene out. A little spoiler there for you, but they still did a good job when on that scene in particular as well. And you got all these battles, like just from the beginning of the slow parts to the ending. I wasn't expecting how the ending would. It does leave you on a cliffhanger, but I think that's going to give him tons of room. If they want him back to make more, that's what's going to be phenomenal. If he comes back and makes more of those videos, like that's what I honestly think is going to happen. He might hopefully come back and do another great job. Like, the Snyderverse needs to stay. Like, knowing you can't compare that with other verses now, like in the DC universe. Like, he did a phenomenal job when it came from here. Some characters in there. You got Joker, you got Lex. The Joker scene there, definitely amazing, as well as the Lex scene with Deathstroke, one of my favorite supervillains. But I mean, the Joker, he's one of my favorite supervillains. This him and Batman. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to leave it at that. Did so well meshing up to in that one scene in the movie. Oh, I want to give it away, but I can't. It's too good. Like, that was one of by far another favorite scene of mine personally, just because I'm a big Joker fan. Like, his evil genius is just unpredictable, and that's what makes the Joker the Joker. But oh man, I was glued. And then me and the wife, like I said, she was really happy with Wonder Woman scenes. Like, she's a big Wonder Woman fan, and we were glued to the full 4 hours of it. It was just phenomenal. We couldn't stop to, this is not to be watched. This is to be enjoyed. It's to be experienced, and yes, to be watched. But it's much more than what what it is. Like, it really meshes well with the story and the backgrounds of all the superheroes, how they became and how they formed the Justice League, and now how they can go forward of saving the world together as a team. Like, when happens back in the first time they were attacked, they had all those tribes and everything come in. Another little spoiler there, but just the way they are now is phenomenal. The writing, the story behind it, it's just, in my opinion, perfect. It meshes well with it. And Mr. Snyder, Zack Snyder, you did a great job. And again, I give you another round of applause. You did a good job, as well as the actors, the producers, all the people involved. I give you a round of applause. Like, 10 million volts of awesomeness. Like, that was just amazing. And of course, the comedic relief here and there was pretty funny too, especially with the moments with the Flash. He does provide comedy relief in a way, but he did an amazing job. I highly encourage everyone to check this movie out. We got some amazing, like, shows and movies coming out. This was by far one of the amazing movies I've seen all year in this pandemic. It was a great relief to see something, a masterpiece in my opinion, created. And I'm really, really, I'm freaking happy with it. Like, this was a great movie, and I encourage you, anyone who's watching my channel, or even who become a new subscriber, and do please feel free to subscribe, like, and comment below if you like this movie. It greatly helped me out in the channel. I greatly appreciate y'all's feedback as well. But one great movie I was really happy with. Like, just from what I heard to the trailers that I saw, I was it was great. I really enjoyed it. And feel free tomorrow to check it out. I have a very special guest. I'm going over the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 1 review tomorrow. I have a special guest on. Feel free to check that out tomorrow. We'll definitely, I'll keep you informed with that as well. But Mr. Snyder, all the actors, the crew there, another round of applause for you. I greatly appreciate this great movie. Like, it was better than the theater version, in my opinion, by far. And especially how dark it felt, too, which is what I like in the DC universe of how dark things could get, but there's always a light at the tunnel. It was an amazing job. And again, your daughter would be proud of you. And I cannot express how much this movie really felt to me and also my wife. We really loved it. But like I said, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment below. Let me know your thoughts on how you felt about the movie and what your reaction was. Maybe even say who your favorite superhero was. And take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. And catch y'all later. And have a great day.